Welcome back. In response to the growing concerns of nurses considering job prospects abroad, the Department of Public Health is taking action in order to improve and maintain health care in the Bahamas. Acting Director Dr. Philip Swan described how new and expanded nurse and physician training programs are being implemented across many disciplines.
So we have two sets of programs going on. One, of course, was given birth after the discussions and examination of why nurses were leaving country. So a lot of postgraduate programs were introduced to try to give them a varied career path. There's a program that we have rolled out related to midwifery, have those on a regular basis, but there's one that's going on now. Psychiatric or mental health nurses were also a cohort have just completed. We're in the process of starting a program on community health nursing and another, of course, in public health nursing. So those are some programs that we've been moving along to try to create career paths, and that's the Department of Public Health perspective.
Dr. Swan adds that in the hospital, they are doing a few other programs like surgical nurse training as well as renal nurse training, but they are specialists for the hospital specifically.
But in addition to that, with the expansion of healthcare infrastructure, especially at the tertiary level, there's training for more registered nurses as well as trained clinical nurses with additional skill sets to allow them to support the system more. Patient care assistants are also being trained to support, again, we call them nurse extenders, nurse support, to allow them to go into the communities and do what is necessary to try to reach those persons who are lost to follow-up.
The Department of Public Health says these expanded training initiatives are part of a broader effort to strengthen the healthcare workforce and address staffing concerns across the country. It is hoped that this move will ensure a more sustainable public health system for the Bahamas moving forward. Sandilands Rehabilitation Center recently hosted its annual Geriatrics Decorated Wheelchair and Sandilands Junkanoo Parade competition under the patronage of retired senior nursing officer Kayla Queen of Junkanoo Stubbs Colby. Last Friday, Serenity Gardens at Sandilands Rehabilitation Center saw an evening filled with culture, creativity, and community spirit. Hospital Administrator Leotha Colby explains to JCN exactly what was taking place.
So tonight we're celebrating our annual 28th. This is the 28th year of our annual Junkanoo Parade for our patients. And as you can see in the background, looking all around Sandilands, the staff are happy, the patients are happy, and this is a celebration of love and joy for our patients. They are very excited. What we usually do is we try to bring up, because a lot of our patients, they live here. And so we try to make them feel as a part of the community of Sandilands. And you can see they're very happy. They like to take part in the Junkanoo Parade. This is something that they look forward to every year.
Dr. Keith Rivers, Director of Gerontology Services, was also having the time of his life. He explained why the annual event is so important to the staff and patients at Sandilands.
This has been going on for many, many years. It was started by Dr. Yuana Burroughs many years ago. She's still among us. In fact, she's in the crowd. And so what we have is not just medicine to make people feel better. We love patient engagement because it's going to help with their emotional and social healing. And so we want a holistic approach when it comes to healing, all right? Not just medicine, but we want a cultural expression from all of our patients. It makes them feel more involved and makes them heal better.
The Junkanoo Rush included individual costumes, decorated wheelchairs, banners, and a live Junkanoo band with prizes for the best costumes. And finally, becoming an author is the dream of many, but everyone does not achieve this lofty goal. In this next report, we hear of a Bahamian now living in the United States who recently completed a heartwarming children's book that is expected to fly off the shelves and possibly find its way into local schools one day. Tania Brown tells us more in this next report.
Bahamian author Andrea Campbell is using children's literature to celebrate diversity, self-love, and cultural identity with her new book series, I Love the Colors of Us. Campbell said the idea for the book was inspired by her own life experiences and by observing children who, like her, did not always see themselves reflected positively in books.
The idea came from my life and from observing children, especially children who looked like me. Growing up, I didn't always see books that reflected our skin tones, our hair textures, or our culture in a positive and affirming way. So I Love the Colors of Us is a series of 5 books already written. This was born out of a desire to celebrate diversity, self-love, and identity for all kids from an early age. So I want children to see themselves as beautiful, valuable, and worthy, exactly as God has made them, exactly as they are.
Campbell also shared that bringing the book from idea to finished product required patience, creativity, and a lot of hard work.
Well, from the moment the idea became clear to the day it was published, it took about, I'll say, several months, maybe 9 months. Writing was only one part of the journey. As you know, there was also editing, illustration, design, and learning the publishing process as well. So it required patience, faith, and consistency, but every step of it was worth it.
She also emphasized the importance of including Bahamian culture in the book, noting that culture plays a critical role in shaping one's identity.
Including my Bahamian culture was very important to me because culture shapes identity. The Bahamas is rich in color, history, warmth, and in resilience. And I wanted that reflected in my story. Our children deserve to see their culture represented proudly, not as an afterthought. This book is about love. It is a love letter to our roots and a reminder that our culture is something to celebrate, not to hide.
I Love the Colors of Us is currently available online through platforms such as Amazon, Barnes & Noble, as well as her website, www.andreacampbellwrites.com. Campbell said if the book helps even one child feel proud of who they are, then it has achieved its purpose. For JCN News, I'm Tania Brown.
Thanks for that report, Tania. Well, that'll do it for your JCN Evening News. Once again, I'm Jerino Saunders. It's been a pleasure to have you join us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.